Oh, here's where there's saw on the leg.
Mm-hmm. My God, the amount of detail. Look at this.
They put a lot of work into these. It's kind of funny how much they use.
This area right here is where the doctor has rebuilt Fritz. Fritz is his assistant. In the explosion, he kind of got really messed up. So the doctor he broke his neck. So the doctor actually put a rod up through his leg, through his hip, through his chest, and then into his neck, to where it held his neck up the entire time. He also had to build a life support system for him. He took one of those beating hearts, put it into him, gave him a new heart, and he had to build a life pack that took him a long time to build, and stuck it on his side. And that life pack is what keeps him moving around. He has given him one simple job in the castle, and he doesn't seem to do a very good job at it. That is to keep his, demonic creatures put away. In here we'll see all kinds of normal household things, whips, chains, handcuffs, all those things you find in everyday home. But in here, you can see that it looks more like a jail cell because Fritz was supposed to keep all his creations locked up. He's not doing a very good job of that. So, yeah, he's not doing a very good job. So, of course, he has to be tortured somehow. We will see the demise of Fritz later. But this is what this scene is. Let's move on. Right here, you're going to see some more of that stitch work. Right here, we come in contact with another Frankenstein monster. Alpha is here. On this bedpost here is Beta. She is standing there twitching because she's getting electrocuted and tortured.
This is a good one, Chris.
The doctor actually has a flip switch here where he can throw it down and let off an effect.
Without the exit sign.
It's a much bigger effect. Right now, this is a closed circuit, so it has to keep working as much as I pull it and put it on it. But at night, it actually emits a whole loud effect. It actually lets off a whole loud effect and strobe lights in here to where it actually looks like the bride is actually being electrocuted. This is another spot that I found that people like to take pictures at. So if you want to jump up there, be extremely careful. But if you want to jump up there and take a picture, go ahead. If you guys want to keep going into the next room, you'll see there's an old dead exposure body laying in there. Stop there. I'm going to hop in there. Another one of our common scares right here is just the ever so simple drop door.
Oh, that's cool.
If I can't get in there, because I don't. Where are you?
You gotta back up.
That's cool.
No, we don't use this anymore.
Well, not maybe that's in the back.
Oh yeah, probably. They probably would use that. As we make our way into here, guys, this is probably one of my favorite scenes in this house. When you come in, Fritz will be laid over here. And from the back, you will see a red line emit, and an alpha will come out, and he literally will shove his hand through Fritz and rip out his heart. Fritz will fall off to the side, and he will stand here showing you his glowing heart. A very, very cool effect. Looks extremely, extremely well. If you get to see that, of course, that's another one of those timing things. If not, Fritz is just standing here kind of going frantic. Also, once again, that misdirection hitting you, you're so focused on this because it's such a cool effect. The doctor comes screaming out of that hole there. Why? Because the doctor is extremely mad. Not because Fritz died, but because he destroyed that life pack that he worked so hard on. So the demise of Fritz is met right here. But a very, very cool effect. If you get to see this, he actually just rips his heart right out through him. And it's a very cool effect because it actually really looks like his hand comes all the way through him and pulls it right back out. If you want to keep walking in the next room, I'll meet you there.
Alright. Where are you going to come out of that? Get him?
And we missed the whole story here.
In here, this is where we see Omega, the final stage of the Frankenstein
I never even
monster.
noticed.
There's quite a few of them in here actually trying to chase you around and chase you out of here. In here, you will see some reused stuff, of course. So we have already mentioned the fly pods from the flag that were also in the Horror Makeup Show lobby. And back there, what are those two things from?
Horror Makeup Show.
Yes, the fly pods from the Horror Makeup Show. But what are the other two things in here from?
Makeup show.
Already said that.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Nope.
Here, let me get you a picture. The thing? The fly.
No. Those were the Hansel and Gretel ovens from Scary Tales 3. That was very good. So this is the final scene, of course. Omega has brought the Doctor to his final demise as he hangs lifelessly above us, covered in slinkies. I love me some slinkies. It is. It works great, and it's very easy to do.
I gotta remember the slinky. Stand up.
Right here, we talk about inexpensivity and cost of making a haunted house. I like what we do here. We actually use this a lot throughout our houses. This right here is, of course, plywood covered with a styrofoam material. If you knock on it, you can kind of hear it. It's covered with styrofoam, and then it's covered with a mesh, and then it's sprayed on top of it, what I like to call like a topping, because pretty much it's like a pizza. You can pick whatever topping you want to put on your wall to make it whatever you want to look like. We can make it look like rock, we can make it look like stone, we can make it look like marble, anything. So that is a very inexpensive way that we create design. And then we have our artist team come in and just paint these whatever we want them to look like as well. So a lot of things you see throughout the house really are just sprayed styrofoam. So one of those inexpensive things, and we can fireproof it. We can fireproof the outside of it so it doesn't catch on fire and burn until it gets to the foam part. But hopefully we can put it out before it gets there if that was to ever so happen. We're going to walk to the instance of Dracula. Be very careful as we walk across this back wall. There are some barbs on this chicken wire looking stuff, so just kind of stay off of the wall. Alright guys, we are standing in front of Dracula, Legacy of Blood. This is not your traditional Bela Lugosi Dracula. This is what Dracula?
Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker's Vlad the Impaler Dracula. The backstory goes that Dracula would call people to his home or to Castle Dracula, and he would call them in, but of course he only would accept women to come into the castle. Any men that came to the castle would be impaled. Very good. And it says that he liked to impale people in ways that they would hang and flop like a fish. He liked to hang them from their side. There's one hanging from the side of there. They wanted to flop like a fish, even hang there for 2-3 days, even sometimes a week, just bleeding and starving to death. So really a sick, sick creature. One of the sickest things is that I feel really bad for this dude. He didn't even get a spike when he got impaled. He just got like thrown down on it. So you'll notice that all these are impaled different ways. You will notice some reuses, that exposure over here, several different creatures from different places. Another favorite spot, if anybody wants to take a picture in the chair, that is a very, very big hot spot. If somebody wants to take a picture in the chair, take a few minutes. You got time, go ahead and take pictures in the chair. It is the chair. No.
That's all the line heads on it.
No, the chair that was in the museum was one that was used in the commercial they took back then.
Oh, okay, alright.
It looks,
Line heads and everything.
that one was bigger though. Remember it had a big wide seat.
You're gonna do that? Okay.
Well, start.
Is that interesting? No, I don't know what it is.
Look, get out of my face with the camera.
So you guys can actually expand all that.
So,
Yeah,
the
but
men
we can't use the movie version.
That's right, because that's a lot better than. We thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. And they put the wood to it. You know how to do it off that. All right. When we enter Castle Dracula, of course, like somebody had mentioned, there were some holes here that was easily patched up. That's one of those things that just happens during the nature of the event. Yeah, you can't hardly see them now. It looks like it blends right in. That is one of those things that happens during the nature of the event. So we try to cover those up as much as possible. Let's go ahead and enter Castle Dracula. Slide on in and meet Grape Girl. This is one of those things that we reuse all the time. She is in various houses all the time. What house was she in last?
Dead Silence? No.
Dead Silence, very good. She was in Dead Silence at the welcoming in to Dead Silence. Let's head into the hall.
I don't remember the name.
Careful. Okay.
He scared me.
Very easily, once again, one of our misdirection places right here. This is an area where a bride can hang out. One of our feral brides. Of course, when Dracula calls women to his home, they have to accept him to be his wife for all of eternity. Now, if they accept him, they will be rich and beautiful for the rest of their life. If they do not, either consciously or subconsciously, they'll become a feral bride. They'll be given an everlasting life, but they will deteriorate just as their body would if they were alive. So actually back here was an effect that we also took from Dead Silence, where Mary Shaw would go back and forth. We took and put it in here where the beautiful bride can go back and forth. There's a feral bride that comes out over there. But one problem we faced in Dead Silence was the drapery would go like this. You know, coming way out here, which really kills the effect. So what they did is they put fishing weights in the bottom, sewed them into the bottom of the curtains to give it a little bit of weight. So now they just blow out to about here. And this is another one of those places where they can get you up to several times, up to 4 times right here. And then also get you over here. Getting scared by that one? Bam, one right there. So I just scared the daylight.
What do you get? You got even? Yeah, I mean.
This is one of my favorite scenes of this house. I've seen over and under scares. I've seen 2 low scares. Never have I ever seen 2 high scares. Up here, out of any one of these, really, you will see the Count for the first time. He comes down and Count Dracula is swooping out at you. And up here, out of this boo hole here, there will be a feral or a beautiful bride also swooping down at you. Once again, we love that misdirection. Also, sometimes there'll be one hiding in the corner over here. So it'll get you from there, and she'll come out right here.
Because I thought you were reaching for
Danny's talking about
those popular internet websites. Woo! Come on in, guys. This is the Hall of Coffins inside of the Dracula's house. You'll see a chandelier up here that is half made out of real bones. Kind of creepy to know that those are real bones. They came from my dog Fido. No, just kidding. We get them from all kinds of different places, all kinds of different websites. We use a lot of websites that we can't make mention out here. In here, you'll see the Hall of Coffins. Whose coffin is that?
Oops.
bride. It's gotta be a bride.
We've used it again.
Oh,
Yes, Cindy Kane. Very good. That was Cindy Kane's. The one cool thing that I love about this room is every one of these coffins are 100% real, and they had a dead body in them. They have been used. So that raises the question of, where's the bodies? Dead bodies, when they are cremated in a wooden box. When they are done doing a viewing, they have to actually purchase a real casket and put them in the casket, and then they will cremate them. So those popular internet auctioning sites, we find these old caskets that have been used. Now, one thing about these, a lot of people ask me, why don't we put people in them and have people jump out of them and scare you? That is 100% illegal. You cannot put a live person in a used coffin. I don't even know if you can put a live person in a coffin. But that does not mean that we can't put a fake person in a used coffin. So in here, we have a lighting effect, fog effect, and there's pneumatics that push this up and down during the event. That's right.
I was at West Virginia State University.
This looks like an old one.
That's a nice coffin.
Look, they got a guy in the
Oh, there's a guy in the corner.
He likes this small little furry creatures to gnaw on and torture and play with. You'll see some over here. There's a cute little cat getting ready to get eaten on. Some real bones over here. A bird. This lamb chop. You know, one of those little things. What I like, another little Easter egg here, that is the body to the severed pig head in the house.
Ah.
So you got the head in one house and then the body in the next house. Cool little thing. I like that thing here. It's kind of cute. Here's the speaker on the ground. He has two sound effects that he can put right behind here. And he has also a water feature where he is biting open a rabbit and he's squirting you with the rabbit's blood.
We got that.
Yeah, I got that a lot.
He's biting it?
Yes, he's biting it open.
Disgusting.
The one, the roan rabbit that got me had a lot of blood in it.
Was a fat rabbit.
They drained them. I like all the birds they have.
Oh,
It's a rabbit.
oh, he. Those are pieces of birds.
Oh, it's a pig.
Oh, there's the rabbit that he's eating.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if
That's pretty gross.
Look at the bones on his blanket.
Where?
On his blanket.
Oh, look at the bones on his blanket.
Yeah, I know. What are they?
Chicken bones.
They're bones.
These are called lenticulars.
Animal.
Oh, here's. Oh, that's the pig.
Right there.
A little lamb or something.
That's the first time as well. If you look up top here, there's more rigging and a slide rail. We've actually put a bride in here, a levitating feral bride. She has the ability to go all the way from corner over here, all the way into the next scene almost, to the complete corner over there. Very, very cool, very, very good looking scare if you get to see that.
And these pictures change as you. I thought some of these pictures turn into
Some of those
fang
pictures do
people.
change. Where's that from?
How did they make them do that?
Oh, it's one of those one things with the.
Yeah, I don't think these are those.
No, yeah. As you keep going, as you go further, they start changing. I like the music they play in this one.
Oh, you've been in this one? Oh.
Yeah.
This actual change?
No. You'll see it as you go ahead.
She said that the bride could go from here over there. She's on a thing.
See, here, it's like a hologram.
Yeah.
That's cool. See, I think this one's real, and it's going to get me.
And then get you from those.
Oh, this one's real.
Look at these symbols on the shield. Calling Horror Nights 15.
How do you know?
I don't know.
Once again, we try to find ways to create an effect, but also give our characters plenty of room to hide. There are mirrors back here. The mirrors are back there to give the effect of this infinite, that this room goes on infinite, that it is a giant room, but also we built on the back side of it the same thing that's on the front, so when someone is standing right here, you can't see the reflection in the mirror. You can't see the reflection in the mirror until they're right here, right in your face. Very cool effect here. If you look at the holes on the ground, there's a very cool low-lining fog in here. We actually take a fog machine and pump it through a CO2 machine. And that gives it a low-line rippling fog effect in here, which works out to be very, very cool.
What did you say about the mirrors? Who can't see what?
When you stand over here,
Right.
When you stand right here, you can't see my reflection in the mirror.
Oh.
So the person comes out right here to give you a scare.
Okay, that's cool.
Also, there's a door open here that is a mirror. Makes it very easy for us to do a cash change right here. You can bring our cash in and let them get in this side of this half of the house without disrupting the flow any more than we already have to do to pull the people through it.
Oh, seeing probably the same over here behind any of these walls. Can you see me?
Oh, you're right. I don't see you.
Yes.
Oh, I see you here.
Ah!
I'm looking at that. Oh, yeah, look at you.
Ah!
Very fun.
Huh?
God.
Once again, another area where we have some dead bodies hanging here, where our failed bride can hang out behind them. Nobody even knew I was there. Nobody even knew I was there, and neither do you realize that there's a bride there, because you see these two bodies here waiting to get thrown onto the squeeze guard. But obviously we have a nice area there where we can put somebody behind there, and he also has a trigger there where he can let off a loud scream.
So I think these are real. She's coming there.
Everybody take a nice big whiff when you come in here.
Oh, God!
Oh, wow.
The smell of flesh and blood. It's actually the smell of burning flesh. Not the worst smell we've ever used by far. Right here is the squeezing art. When you come in here, there are feral brides all over in here just waiting to get fed. They're waiting to get fed because, like I said, the feral brides that did not accept Dracula, they are sentenced to everlasting life. But it's sentenced, yeah, we'll put those out. But it's sentenced also for their body to deteriorate as they normally would. So right now, Dracula has waited a little while to give them their food. This is the first ever water feature that we've done completely in a house. You'll see up here that there are hoses sticking out that will leak blood or water. You can see some.
You take the lens off.
You can see some puddling blood in here. The water actually will fall through and then cycle back up and trickle down, and cycle back up and trickle down, and cycle back up and trickle down as they come through. Cycle back up and trickle down.
Okay.
But the bodies are supposed to be laid down here, and these will go down, squeezing the nart out of the body, I guess. No, they will impale the body, making holes in the body, and then when they come back up, they're supposed to be dripping off the blood, dripping down into here.
There was actually a body still, like, you know.
Yeah, like half a state, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Does anybody have any blinding flashes for me? Anybody have any questions about anything that you've seen today? Nothing at all. Wow.
Oh,
I keep going.
that shield that has the painted.
Yeah, where's it from?
15 on one.
Very good. Terra Coentus. That was a terror throne shield mabob. Also, if you see Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure this year, the whole set is pretty much the Gorewood tree and the Terror Throne from that year. For those of you that have not been to the event yet, I'm going to throw a caution out there. For those of you that have, you'll know what I mean the second that I say it. For those of you, anybody that has motion sickness, please, 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 be extremely careful when you go through the Chucky house. This year we are using the vortex again, but that vortex is more intense than anything I've ever seen. The first night I walked through it, if it makes me go up on one foot and makes you think I'm going to fall over, you know there's a problem. So that thing is extremely intense, especially if you had a couple drinks. That thing is whoa. So be very, very careful when you're going through there. Anybody have any questions about the event or about any of the other houses that you would like to pick my brain about while we're here? Oh, yeah.
How do they charge the eyes in spawning?
How they charge the eye? It's just a battery pack. Just a battery pack inside of them. And then, you know, of course, they're looking out through their mouth.
Okay.
And then the eyes are above their head.
Yeah, was it a glue?
This is a glow stick.
How do they do the smells?
I think it smells. We buy them from a company. There's actually a company. It's a chemical company that makes it for movies and yes.
What's the smell supposed to be in here?
Yes.
Vomit.
Even an economy smell.
Aisle, yeah.
Everything.
Oh, the economy.
That was
Yes. Any other questions?